Excuse you. I use human chicken scratch. Gee. Owen. I'm ready. Yeah, Owen's ready to do two now.
Yeah.
Right on this right now.
Yeah.
So our exam is on the 13th. It's after lunch, so our exam is actually like our normal school time, like the normal time we would have this class. However, we do have that help time in the morning. So Thursday morning, there's that optional study session. You're welcome if I didn't need you or I didn't request you, you're welcome to come anyway. Like if you just want to come at your normal time. Sometimes with anything that's kind of like big in your life, if you're playing a sport or performing or whatever, doing a test, sometimes maintaining your normal schedule is actually better for you, like getting up at the normal time and coming to school as much as you're like, oh, I get an extra, hour of sleep. Sometimes it kind of throws you off a little bit. So it might not be a bad idea just to kind of maintain your normal schedule, at least on that Thursday. That's just my 2 cents with that. We also have AR that day. But so our exam is at 12:04. And then after our exam is done, so after 1:40, you guys are, if you're not requested by your 2nd or 4th hour teacher, you guys can go home. Otherwise, you go to your 2nd or 4th hour class to get help or whatever it happens to be. So, thank you. So Emma, you can just keep your cheat sheet because I'm giving it back to you guys today anyway. And I don't know if I need to get one of these. And typically with my exams, some of it is multiple choice, some of it's open-ended like a normal test. But if the questions make sense to be multiple choice, I'll allow them to be multiple choice. It just saves a little bit of time in grading when I'm trying to get a whole bunch graded quickly. So just to remind you guys of what chapter 1 was, and there was a bunch of different formulas that we needed in chapter 1. Chapter 1 was kind of our basic trig. However, we did add, if you guys recall, law of sines and cosines. So we had regular SOHCAHTOA. That was used to find missing sides in right triangles, missing sides and angles in right triangles. Then we learned about non-right triangles, and that's where law of sines and cosines came in. So you definitely want to put those formulas down. So those are some big formulas you would need.
Sneaking up back way, huh?
No.
They were.
So do you think an example of kind of each of these would be helpful right now? Or would you rather,
Just like, maybe the laws.
the laws?
Yeah, the formula. Law of sines is sine of little a over a equals sine of.
No, it's not a big A over A. Big A is angle. Little a is side, John. You would know this if you didn't quit football.
What, Diego?
Oh my God, Diego's triggered.
Or all the morning workout.
Yeah.
All right, let me show you guys a quick example of each one. Because honestly, I was thinking a chapter a day unless you thought we should kind of keep moving and do more notes, and then I don't know. So we can kind of figure things out. We can make a decision one way or the other.
I think this is enough for today.
I mean, I'm getting close to being done, but yeah, like I'm.
Yeah, I thought it was really weirdly
Yeah.
Yep.
big mistake during Trig or pre-calc this morning.
No.
So
I heard it.
the warm-up question.
Which was?
I think Cash referred to it as a naughty number.
Oh,
yeah.
Was it 69?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like okay, so we're learning about binary digits, like so that's like ones and zeros, like so numbers can be made up of series of ones and zeros. That's how computers talk. And I literally put down a random spattering of ones and zeros, and that's the one that came up. Like, I mean, how in the world, like, I mean, the chances of that happening are so slim. And then, like, all of a sudden, Cash was like, naughty number. And I was like, oh my God. Like, and like, it was like the first thing I did in the whole day. So I wanted to just quit. Like, I was like, yeah, then I came down and saw Mr. Olsen do a cartwheel. So that kind of brought things up a little bit.
That'd be my.
Is he good at cartwheels?
I mean, I've never been a cartwheel, like cartwheel girl.
He said he knows how to do a round off too.
Holy cow.
I was like, maybe he's like
And then we were telling you
gymnastics.
He's
Look at that.
like low-key gymnast.
Buddy's correct.
We'll go through that.
Yeah.
And again, I'll get you guys your note cards back as well. So this one I would use law of sines for because it's not a right triangle. And I know opposite sides and opposite angles. Or I know some opposite sides, some opposite angles. So I'm trying to find angle B, let's say in this case. And because once I found angle B, I could find angle C. So I'm going to cross multiply. Oops, what am I doing? So then, once I want to get B alone, I'm going to divide by 26. So now I have sine of B equals this crazy fraction. Do you guys remember how to solve this then?
Reverse sign.
We have to do the inverse sign with our calculator. So calculator wasn't wrong, it just wasn't entirely.
It's just a stupid answer.
John.
Good work,
John. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hopefully Luke's never becoming a teacher. That's a stupid answer.
I would have sent him to our side.
38.
Just for
That is a laugh.
You're a laugh.
No, I'm only.
All right, so I got like 38.2 for angle B.
That's cool.
Thank you, John.
Next.
Okay, not time.
I was gonna do law of cosines too.
I don't know.
You don't think you need that?
It's probably on my note card.
It is on your note card.
Just put it in the equation.
Well, the equation for law of cosines, I'm afraid to write it down just one way because there's technically 3 different ways. Let me give you your cheat sheet and then you guys can hopefully. This is the long one. This is the one that has like the a squared equals b squared plus c squared.
These sets.
What's the equation?
He's you're playing football next year, right? You're in college.
Yeah, like he needs it.
It's literally all that we put on our note card,
Football.
basically. Oh yes.
Air high five.
So you guys can keep these
Yes,
and
they
then
do.
use them for your overall.
Something
Hey.
great.
Hey, yeah, SE.
It's pretty good
Well,
that
it
way.
might- it shows in the word column.
Yeah.
I'll show you that, like it's on,
What's that?
yeah.
Dang, carbon
But isn't that how you're supposed to drink out of that water bottle?
Look at that. I don't think you're gonna be able to fit all that on.
No, he like shoved the whole thing. He's like,
I did, but I just put like everything on.
One half
These,
full.
it's already one sheet. Now you're combining all of them with that.
Who said I'm adding the whole sheet onto my note card, John?
Whoa.
I didn't say you did
Who
that.
roasted?
I didn't say you were.
John just got bodied.
Oh.
Technically, I never quit football. Football just has one.
Football quit me.
Yeah.
Those people. I
Carter, this is literally
me. Well, you actually know what you're doing.
I think he didn't quit, he just didn't join again next week.
Hey, oh, and it's C squared equals A squared plus B
Wait, don't forget, like, the silver
squared.
lotion.
Watch that.
You're the one.
This is really all that sounds like.
What's name?
Sorry.
What did
not
you
that you asked
say,
me,
me?
but-
I don't understand the word.
And I feel like it's all the extra hands.
Yeah, okay.
And especially like
Yeah,
on
okay.
work.
Your parents pay for your gas.
I gotta move to you.
Like what?
Like what?
Mom?
Oh wow, that's crazy.
That's what you want, that's like your personal stuff.
Yeah, John.
All right, do not be alarmed by the size of this review.
Oh, he pays for his own gas.
Yeah, I'm sure. If you.
Oh, this is thick.
You pay for gas? I don't think so.
Yeah, we do.
Imagine not even paying
No,
for
you
it.
don't.
We do pay for gas.
Daddy.
Except I don't drive, so I don't have to.
Maybe you get your
Okay.
license.
I have my car.
It's not what you want.
So,
What?
what I would suggest you guys for this review is I was going to give you guys the numbers that I would suggest going through. And just so you guys know, the review is numbered, and then all of a sudden it goes from like 18 and skips up to like number 40 something. So if you look to see how many questions there are, they're not really the same number. Oh, I guess the numbers are weird.
17 to 40.
I apparently can't count at all. Shoot.
That would suck because you're a math.
Yeah.
Really?
She
There's only 34 questions.
Okay. So
That's
there's
it?
I don't know. Okay, but this is not due until the exam day. But what I want to mention for you guys is I would suggest going to page 3 and starting.
Trace.
Page 3.
Not numbered, so.
Well, count.
Yeah.
Well,
Just one in the back.
well, no.
The third sheet of
On the
paper.
third sheet of paper.
Oh.
I got confused too.
No, so Trace. Quadruple
Number 49.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Now.
My brain is
What is wrong?
fried on the
Hey, John,
So I would suggest you guys doing, so the front of page 3, starting with number 50 to 52, so like the bottom half of page 3, and then the whole page 4, the whole front side of page 4. Is that it? That's what I suggest you guys do for Monday. However, if you feel like you have extra time, and I mean like, so hopefully you'll get a lot of this done in class here today, and you want to work through some other ones, go ahead, but we haven't reviewed any of those sections, but I also will get you guys your cheat sheet back. So I would set a goal for yourself of at least having all of this stuff on, or like organized and kind of figured out, maybe highlighting off your cheat sheet what you want to move on to the actual test, or the actual cheat sheet for the test, kind of setting up a game plan there for yourself. I'm not gonna like specifically like check every single problem necessarily, but the more you get done now, the better off you'll be coming into the exam. All right, that sounds doable. I'm gonna do announcements in a little bit. I want to get you guys your cheat sheets, all of them back to you guys.